everything's changed.
You know, that was the last time I ever saw my uncle. I stayed away from Christmas and Thanksgiving for years after. You know, it took my uncle 7 years to drink himself to death. First he lost his job, then his wife, and finally his driver's license. He retreated to his house and, well, he had his bottles delivered. One night, he tried to go down the basement stairs, you know, and he flew down those steep stairs. My aunt would come by weekly to put food out on the porch for him, and she noticed the stacked up mails and paper, all uncollected. They found him at the bottom of the stairs. Now that I'm old enough, there are a few questions I would have liked to ask him. Who did it to you, Uncle Peg? How old were you? Were you 11? Sometimes I think of my uncle as a Flying Dutchman, like the one in the opera. The Dutchman is doomed to wander the sea, but after every 7 years, he can come ashore. And if he finds a maiden who will love him of her own free will, well, then he'll be released. In my mind, I see Uncle Peck in his Chevy 56, roaming up and down the back roads of Carolina, looking for a girl who, of her own free will love him and release him.
Follow others to the dust, or you can walk through the unbroken thorny bush. You may get blood on your ankles, but you'll arrive there first, and not covered in the residue of others. This land is fertile and blessed in many regards, and the men aren't the only ones entitled to its bounty. I don't want someone to come to my life, my house, and take my family from me. Not ever again.
But I miss my family, my husband,
Stop
my
it.
baby.
We said that we wouldn't talk about it.
Please just let me say her name. I want to go home.
If you leave, where will you go? How much goodness do they show you?
Why did you say that?
I'm sorry, but you know it's true. There's a war going on. It's not safe for women alone. It's better. Here, Mama takes care of you.
You don't have to be with them. The miners, they're easy. They come, they want drink and they leave. But them soldiers, sometimes their hands are so filled with rage it hurts to be touched. I was out in the field, picking the last of the sweet tomatoes. I put my baby Beatrice down in the shade of a frangipani tree. My back had been giving me trouble. Where was Fortune?
Out in town, getting a new pot. Go and get it, but I know you won't get any supper. I'd been on his case for weeks. And the man decided that on that day, on that damn day, he would go and get it. But I had to fit in an hour or two before it got too hot. There was this peacock. And she was beautiful and
Taunting me with his feathers. I stooped down to it. Whoosh, whoosh. And then a shadow cut across my back. And as I stood, 4 men were standing over me, smiling wicked schoolboy smiles. Yes, I said. And the taller soldier slammed me with the butt of his gun into my cheek. Just like that. My baby, Beatrice, she was a good baby. She never cried. But she was crying, screaming. I said, and a soldier stomped on her head with his boot. She was quiet. Where was everybody?
It's okay, take a breath.
Fuck them!
I know.
Where was they?
I know.
Sweet and lovely lady, be good.
Stripped down to your shirt fronts. I thought this was a funeral dinner, not a cockfight.
I sure thought the services were lovely. Preacher did a fine job.
You know, I would have liked an open casket.
That just wasn't possible, Mom.
You know, not today. That's the way Bev should have been buried today.
Like if he died in 65, he should have been buried like that.
Not all this talk about poetry and teaching. The man hadn't written poems since 65, and he didn't give a damn about teaching. You find any hidden treasure?
Not exactly, but it appears he was working on some new poetry.
Really now?
I found some old notebooks, and they had...
You know there's a will in there.
Mom.
We never talked about the will much, but there's a will.
Mom, we really don't want to talk about this right now.
Girl, what about what I want to talk about? Don't that count for nothing? He meant to leave every single penny to me. He said leave the money to me.
Okay.
Okay. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I just don't get why you're being so adversarial.
Adversarial? I'm just truth-telling. And sometimes people get antagonized when you tell the truth.
But everyone here, we all love you, Mom.
Are you trying to shame me, child? Don't you dare go shaming me. You can shove it right out your ass. You know if you worked as hard as your daddy and I did, you'd be president by now. But what are you? Look at yourself.
Why are you yelling at us?
It's high time somebody told some truths around here.
Well, truth is, Mama, I'm full.
Amen. Give me my food.
Why are you being so mean to me right now?
Oh, now all of a sudden I'm mean.
Mama, please. No.